Cruising solo is one of the most freeing and soul-nourishing ways to travel. You get time to reflect, to connect with the ocean and meet amazing people, all on your own terms. But not every cruise line makes it easy or even welcoming for solo travellers. So today I'm sharing the one thing I love most and the one thing I like least about Norwegian Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean and Carnival from the perspective of a solo cruiser. This is a video I wish I had before my first solo cruise. So let's start with Norwegian Cruise Line and the best thing. Well, Norwegian is hands down the champion for solo travellers in my opinion. They were the first to introduce the dedicated studio cabins and also the private studio lounges accessible only with a solo key. And on many ships they host daily solo meetups, group dinners and events. You can be social if you want, or you can retreat to your quiet space to recharge. For me, it is a perfect balance. But the worst thing, aside from no balcony solo cabins on NCL, is navigating the specialty dining packages. On my last NCL cruise, I booked a budget sail-away fare, and I just added the extras as I went, which worked well for me. But I met other solo travellers who had purchased dining packages built for two or the more at sea option, only to discover they couldn't bring someone else along, even though some of the tickets had for two. It was a little confusing and sometimes left them sitting alone, which is not ideal. So if you're cruising solo on NCL and considering dining packages, just double check what's included in your more at sea and dining packages and specialty restaurants, and maybe join the hosted solo dinners for some company. Royal Caribbean? Well, the best thing is that Royal Caribbean is catching up to NCL for solo travellers. Many of their newer ships now do have studio cabins, including some with ocean views and balconies. And on some sailings, there's no solo supplement at all. I actually have a solo balcony cabin booked on an 18-night Sydney to Hawaii cruise next year, which I can't wait for, and it was just over 4,000 AUD dollars. I think that's a total bargain for nearly 3 weeks at sea. But remember, there's the add-ons like drink packages, Wi-Fi and specialty restaurants, and that can quickly increase your onboard spending, even if you're alone. The worst thing with Royal Caribbean? Well, the challenge for solo cruises on Royal Caribbean is that while there are solo cabins, there are not dedicated lounges or hosted events on all their ships like there is on NCL. Solo meetups do exist, but my understanding is for the most part they're usually unhosted, so you just go along and do what you will, and you have to take the initiative in these instances to connect, which can be hard when you're a little introverted. So if you're hoping for a built-in solo community on Royal Caribbean, you might need to just put yourself out there a little bit more to find it. And finally, Carnival Cruise Line. Well, the best thing here is that Carnival is all about the social, the party vibe. And for younger solo travellers or anyone who loves to mingle, you'll never ever feel alone. Trivia, live music, themed parties. There is always something happening and plenty of ways to meet people on Carnival ships. But the worst thing, or the downside, well, Carnival doesn't really cater to solo travellers in a practical, logistical way. There are no solo cabins, so you usually pay for 2 guests, even if you're travelling alone. And even with their lower fares, this can still work out more expensive for you. And for older, more introverted solo cruisers like me, who appreciate quiet and that reflective time, Carnival can feel like a non-stop conga line. I mean, look, it's fun, just maybe not every hour of the day. So my conclusion, at the end of the day, the best cruise line for solo travellers comes down to personal preference. But for me, Norwegian, it's the clear winner. The studio cabins, the solo lounges and the hosted events make you feel welcome and included while still giving you the freedom you want to do things on your own. Royal Caribbean comes in second. They've made great progress with studio cabins and no solo supplement on some sailings, and their ships are packed with things to do. But the solo support isn't quite as structured as it is on NCL. Carnival, unfortunately, lands in third place for me at the moment. Now, once they find a way to cater directly to solo cruises, they might move up my scale. But for now, you'll probably find me enjoying my solo adventures on NCL or Royal Caribbean. If you've cruised solo, I'd love to hear about your experiences. Which cruise line made you feel the most welcome? What did you enjoy? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, happy sailing. Bye!